So, what is Behind the Hero? Well, Behind the Hero was very heavily influenced by my love for the TV show The Tick. And there was an episode of The Tick called Heroes, which featured a fictional documentary about the superheroes in The Tick's world, and we got to see the episode about The Tick. Well, I always wanted to see the rest of that show. I wanted to see the episodes about all of the other heroes in the Tick's universe. And so that became the inspiration for me to create Behind the Hero. So the original 12-issue arc was going to feature a different hero in each issue, just sort of a mockumentary about that particular hero. But as the 12 issues developed, we would uncover this bigger conspiracy, and it would lead up to this big climax that hopefully one day I'll get to tell you all about. And as I was developing this bigger story, it became very apparent that the person making the documentary was going to be a very important figure. And so I developed that character into Joshua Roberts. And he has an interesting dynamic because, on the one hand, he sees the silliness inherent in superheroes. He asks questions like, why are you wearing that ridiculous costume? And why do you feel the need to yell catchphrases every time you show up to a crime scene? But then, on the other hand, he also does do some actual journalism, and he's looking into, like, where are these heroes coming from, and are they actually in our best interest, and that sort of thing. So I needed to give him a reason to start exploring the world of the heroes that were popping up around him. And so I gave him a roommate. And one day, just out of the blue, his roommate developed super speed. And Joshua thinks this is strange, and so he creates the first issue of his documentary all about his roommate, Speedy. And Speedy became very popular very quickly. Speedy is a kid who grew up on comics, and so he loves everything about being a superhero, and so as soon as he got superpowers, he puts on a towel for a cape, and he goes out and fights some crime. And he's in way over his head, and everything goes terribly wrong, as you might expect from someone who does absolutely no planning whatsoever. But he just keeps trying because he loves being a hero. He's so grateful for the opportunity to have these powers. And so by the time issue 2 came out, it became clear that Speedy was really the star of the show. He's a lot of fun to root for, and he puts his foot in his mouth, and he gets into all sorts of trouble that's just so much fun to watch. And it also became clear that Joshua wasn't going to be able to capture all of this with his webcam. So I created a version of Behind the Hero that would be published online. And that would be a webcomic modeled after Sunday Funnies, where, each individual strip would tell its one joke, but as you read all of the strips together, it would unfold a bigger story. And that story became about Speedy and his shenanigans as a new hero. So it's mostly just cartoon silliness that's heavily inspired by my love for shows like The Tick and Freakazoid and Darkwing Duck. So if that's the sort of thing that you like, I definitely recommend checking it out. And if you want me to be able to continue producing Behind the Hero on a regular basis, please consider supporting me here on this Patreon. And one last thing I want to say is there is a twist to Behind the Hero that I like to call bonus lines that you can read about down below this video.